We cannot lose track of the fact that under Connecticut law today, police officers who observe an individual driving and inhaling and smoking marijuana cannot stop that person who is actively impairing their ability to drive. We can't ignore the fact that just this year, the Transportation Committee, Republicans ran an amendment to fix that very bill. Just say today, starting today, police officers can go and pull people over when they see them smoking weed and driving. And the Democrats voted it down. That amendment did not pass. It failed along party lines. We cannot ignore the fact that the spike that we've seen in fatalities has happened over the last few years. Impaired driving has been around forever. It's been around for a long time. The spike that we're seeing is because of a limited enforcement on our highways and the average speed going through the roof. Nevertheless, we have a bill right now going through this legislature that came out of that Transportation Committee, supported by their chairs, that says if you get a speeding ticket in this state and don't answer it, don't send it in, don't pay it, we can no longer suspend your license. The chief state's attorney in his testimony said we'll never be able to prosecute anybody for speeding. Sure, intoxicated driving, distracted driving cause accidents, but if you look at physics, speed is the major contributor to fatalities. If I'm texting and driving and hit a tree at 25 miles an hour, or I'm texting and driving and hit a tree at 100 miles an hour, we're talking about a pretty significant different outcome. Speed is the underlying issue. So we can ignore those facts, that it's been in the last few years that we've seen this spike when we told our law enforcement to stop enforcing laws. And today, we're continuing to do that, because why would a state trooper on the highway write a ticket when they know that if the person doesn't pay it or plead not guilty, nothing's going to happen to them? And lastly, I'm not saying that lowering the blood alcohol content makes the roads less safe, because it doesn't. Certainly will make the roads somewhat more safe. But as you heard, the truth is police officers don't know what your BAC is until you are already under arrest. So the standardized field sobriety tests are set to a scientific standard of 0.10. In order for a police officer to have probable cause to arrest you, they have to have probable cause that you failed the test, which are measured to 0.10. So scientifically, for them to have any probable cause to put you in jail and arrest you on the side of the road, you're already over 0.10. We don't know your BAC until you're already under arrest. So the illusion that we're going to go out and we're going to limit the amount of intoxicated drivers through enforcement by lowering the prima facie from 0.08 to 0.05 is just not true. The net effect isn't going to be anywhere near what they would like the people to believe. This is simply a distractionary bill to say, yeah, we understand there's a problem on the highways, so we're going to do this, when the reality is they're ignoring the real problem, that we need enforcement back on our highways.
So is that the solution?
The solution is enforcement, yes. So if you take a look at what happened from 2020 to 2022 as an example, major spike in fatalities. What do we see? 65% reduction in traffic stops in the calendar year 2019, pre-COVID, to 2022, the first year sort of after COVID. We saw a 65% reduction in traffic stops. The average speed on the highway went through the roof, and so did fatalities. We don't need a council to figure this out. We don't need a task force. It's logic. It's common sense. I got a freshman in high school who could figure this out, and he did. This entire bill, I'm not saying I'm against it. What I'm saying is it's a distractionary device for the people of the state of Connecticut to make it look like politicians are doing something, but the fact is they aren't. They want to do something. They'll pass a bill today that says a police officer who sees somebody impairing their ability to drive can be stopped and taken off our roads for the safety. If they want to do something serious today, they'll say we're not going to pass 5331, and if you get a speeding ticket in this state and you're contributing to the speed problem, you will be held accountable. That would be real action. First of all, it's not a complicated issue. It's a very simple issue. Right? Prior to 2021, police officers in this state saw somebody smoking marijuana and driving, they pulled them over and stopped them. Nowhere in this state did anybody come forward in huge numbers and say, oh, you know, the cops are stopping people for smoking a cigarette and saying it's marijuana. Nowhere. I asked. Nobody had that data. Nobody said that's happening. As you heard Rep. Callahan say, it's illegal to drink while you're driving. Nobody's getting pulled over drinking an Arnold Palmer and somebody thinks it's a Coors Light. It's not happening. That's a made-up thing so they can complicate this issue. The truth is, the majority party in this state does not want enforcement on our highways. That's it. Okay, you heard today the heroes behind us that are here today that are bringing attention to this. Want to know who the heroes are? The guys standing on the side of the road with cars whizzing by them at 80 miles an hour, trying to get drunk drivers off the state, off of our state highways, in spite of the fact that their profession has been disparaged in this building for 4 straight years. Those are the heroes. The guys with their lives on the line. Those are heroes.